There was kind of a lot of, I don't know, I guess you could call it chatter between you and Klay. I mean, did you anticipate it was going to be kind of like that?
For sure. I mean, it's my guy. It's my friend. Road dog for 13 years, so there's a lot of history. You're going to have a lot of back and forth. Some of it was competitive, some of it was fun. And thankfully, we were all able to focus on the game and just hoop and compete. It was an unreal night for sure, all the way around, from the emotions at the pregame of him, being acknowledged, and the crowd during two-line layups going crazy for him, the video tribute, and I'm so surprised they ran a post up for him on the first play. I blacked out on that one. I wasn't gonna let him score, and I fouled him. But it was a pretty special night all the way around. Obviously, we won. It was great finish, but well done all the way around.
Draymond called it a terrible shimmy that he did.
Awful.
1 out of 10.
Huh?
Is that 1 out of 10? It was low.
I don't rate it. It was hilarious. I know he wanted it really bad to have a moment like that. So I just love having fun with it because you're carrying a lot of emotions into the game. You don't know how it's going to come out, and there's a lot of entertainment all the way around.
Steph, I saw you gave the signature night, but the game was still in the balance. Did you feel that you
almost pulled a Siwoo Kim for all those the references from the President's Cup? Hit the night at on hole 16. No, but thankfully we were able to finish it. I got a 3-shot in my face by Grimes the next possession. I had to go make those 2 free throws. Wiggs got a great stop, so I think it was. So, yeah, a little premature, but thankfully I'm still undefeated on the night.
Steph, did you ask for the defensive assignment that you got, and how did you think that went? You talked about the first possessions of post-up, but then there are a couple times, like, there was ISOs where Klay was kind of ISOing a little bit. How did you think that went?
No, I didn't ask for it. It was pretty straightforward based on their lineup matchups. Put Wiggs on Luka, that's his guy. Been, ever since Wiggs has been with us, melting the starting lineup on Kyrie. I got Klay, and then Draymond on Marshall can kind of roam a little bit. But like I said, I wasn't expecting the first play where they put Klay on the block. I literally blacked out. I thought I was in training camp again, where I was trying to get a stop. Draymond was actually calling me off for we call it a bump, where you don't want me guarding the post-up guy, and I go to the weak side. And I heard him, but I didn't hear him at the same time, and it was a dumb foul. It was a weird way to start the game.
There are a lot of amateur lip readers online trying to dissect what you were saying into the camera at the end after the night. What were you saying?
I really have no idea. I got to go look at it myself. That type of moment with all the angst, there's raw emotion. I really don't know what I said. I'll let you know, though. I don't shy away from what I say on the court. I have to go look at it again.
And Stephen, what's the mentality you have? You come in, there's 3.5 minutes to go. You guys are down 6. And from there, you make 4 straight buckets. What's the mentality you take out there down the stretch of this game?
Just try to be decisive. We picked them apart for most of the game. And when we got in trouble, we were just a little sped up and rushed. And they played their starters most of the fourth quarter, or to start the fourth quarter. They went on a little run. They took them out for maybe 30 seconds and into that timeout. So we knew if we could just get organized and, obviously we went pick and roll most of the time at the top with Luka and Lively. But you bring Lively away from the paint and get to the basket, kick outs, or if I had, pull-up threes, you kind of live with those shots. But it was just getting organized and trying to slow down on offense. Because when we get rushed, you kind of go into, the teeth of the defense. You have no options. And for me, I was trying to stay out of those type of situations down the stretch.
How would you describe the way the game went on a whole, and then, of course, the way that it finished?
It was a memorable night for sure. I know even from July when Klay decided to go to Dallas to, us showing up for training camp and him not being here, it was kind of like a slow build to this night for everybody, because it's such a different look for us, Klay in a new uniform. And granted, we won, so I can say this, but I couldn't imagine it going any other way. Where he played well, the crowd got an amazing show, went down to the wire. You can't really draw it up any better, and definitely special, memories to reflect on. 13 years he was here, and the 4 championships, and everything that we accomplished, and then trying to turn the page to where we are right now.
Before the game, you guys were shooting around and watching each other. Klay said that it was just kind of weird for him just to see you on the other side. Did you feel the same?
Absolutely. You imagine what it's gonna feel like or be like, but I didn't even know if I wanted to go over and say hi to him. It was like a on the blacktop in recess in high school or something like that, where you just kind of you don't really know how to handle it because everybody's trying to stay focused on the game. You don't want to kind of lose your focus or your mentality on trying to prepare yourself for the game. But I think the first time I talked to him was right before the jump ball, so it was a weird balance all the way around trying to handle all the emotions that we had.
Steph, coming in, Klay said that this was just a regular season game in November, but at times tonight it felt like a game 7. What did you think about the atmosphere and just the charge that was in the room?
I hope y'all didn't believe him when he said that.
I didn't believe him.
But it was great. Like, it was everything you would imagine and would want for. I'm trying to think of another example of something like this. For a guy that's still playing at a pretty high level, the history that we have. 3 guys, me, him, and Draymond, who only played for one franchise until this year. I don't know if there's another type of example like this. So the crowd, like I said, we were in 2-line layups, like 7 minutes left on the rundown, and they did the salute to Klay, and that was the first time I think I stopped shooting for a little bit and was looking around, kind of smiling and taking it in with him, even though he's on the other side of the court. And then, like I said, I was in the tunnel during the first part of the tribute video, because I knew I'd get real emotional if I was out there and, looking down and watching him. So I try to protect myself a little bit there. And then you didn't know how long the standing ovation was going to go, because that's the fans' moment to acknowledge him and celebrate him. And you could tell, I did look at that point, you could tell he was happy. And I think he did his little shoulder shrug. He's like, all right, let's go. So that was a very, very cool moment.
Hi, Steph. Last couple of positions, they are kind of all mismatch, and you finish with ISO. Is that the team plan, or kind of you feel on fire?
It's both. Lively's a great defender and a shot blocker in the paint, so to bring him out on the perimeter is always a good thing for us, but you just got to make reads. There was one play I turned it over, and I got downhill, and Wiggs came out the corner for a lob. I thought he was going to stay in the corner, and I made a bad pass. That was the only real possession that we got a little mixed up on. The rest was, like I said, very decisive possessions, and whether you make or miss those, you kind of have to live with it, knowing how they defended us all night.
What was the conversation like between you and Klay last night, and why did you guys reach the mutual decision that your pregame speech would be scrapped?
Just from my standpoint, it was more about the fans acknowledging him, and I don't think I needed to say anything to egg that on. It was pretty apparent that when we got out here, like I said, for 2-line layups, and after the tribute video, it was going to speak loud enough. And so it's obviously not about me. It's about what he meant to the Bay Area, to our franchise, to all the fans that got to watch him from 2011 to this past year. And I think it was really well done from the organization standpoint. The fans did their thing, and me and Draymond got to be a part of the standing ovation that he deserved.
Tim kind of eked into what I was going to ask, but had you thought about what you would have said, or what would you have said if you had to get out there at center court and address everyone?
I didn't think about it much. I would have said just what I just said, pretty much. Like, it's about y'all. We have all of our moments, behind the scenes or between us where we can acknowledge what we all meant to each other. But you give your life to this game for, your whole career. And we've had the blessings of being able to play in front of one fan base for so long. So no words that I would have said would have done it justice. It was for the 19,000 people in that building.
Steph, when this first happened, Klay going to the Mavericks, USA training camp was just starting. You were saying at the time that it would take a while to work through all the different emotions. I'm curious when you quote unquote, got over him leaving and maybe how much tonight may have helped you do that.
It'll always be weird. There's nothing that can cure that because you've heard us talk for years about all wanting to finish, our careers playing for one organization. It obviously didn't happen, but throughout this whole process, you want him to be happy. You want him to play basketball at the highest level for as long as he can, and a change of scenery is great. I know down the road when it's all said and done and we all come back for all of the ceremonies and reveals and all that stuff, it'll be a little bit more of an opportunity to truly reflect. But I think this game helped because you can just understand what it feels like to really see him on a different team and him to, come back to a place that he called home for so long. I don't know how it'll play out. We'll play him, 2 or 3 more times, I think. I don't know, but it'll be a little bit more normal the next time.
How charged up did you feel Draymond was for this game, and how good do you think he's been defensively this first part of the season?
He's been unreal, truly motivated. He's moving well. He's locked in mentally. He's being the dog that he is and impacting the game on that end of the floor. I think today was no different than I felt all year. So I just understand, we were all, the only conversations we had were how do we stay mentally locked in and not let the emotions get the best of us, everything I've been talking about this whole time. So he's been all world defensively. And whether it's at the 4, at the 5, no matter who he's guarding, him talking, he's such a foundation for us to get us organized defensively, save us at times. And down the stretch tonight, it was unbelievable what he was able to do. That block on Gafford and just the emotional plays that keep us going.
One thing Draymond said that helped him keep his mentals in check on an emotional night was that he watched the tribute video beforehand. Did you also do that?
No, I didn't get to it. I just went into the tunnel just to kind of have my own little space to take it in. But we did talk about it enough beforehand that it wasn't like I was coming out unprepared and letting, like I said, the wave of emotions crash down. So it was, I couldn't imagine a better night all the way around. And, shout out to Klay for everything he meant to our organization. We don't have any banners without him. He knows that. Everybody knows that. And when I go back and watch tonight, I'll probably get goosebumps just from what the crowd was able to do to acknowledge him.